Welcome back to Life Unedited. I am your host, Tabitha Sweeney, and this is your lifestyle guide to creating a life that aligns solely with you. All right, so let's jump in today. Can I tell you something I just learned? I never understood why people wear headphones when they're podcasting, and I cannot stand wearing headphones while I podcast. I cannot stand the way it changes my voice and the way I hear myself. But I just recently learned if I plug my headphones in and do not put them on, it drastically improves the quality of this audio. So I'm super pumped, you guys. But that's just me celebrating one of those small wins. What kind of win did you celebrate this week? All right. So now let's get into my thoughts today. Where are we at? Here's where we're at. I had a meeting this week, and it was my first time meeting with a specific group of people. And I ended up knowing Facebook virtual knowing one of the girls in the group, and I had previously virtually met at one time one of the guys in the group, and then I knew two other people in the room. And if you know me at all, you know I'm really awkward when you put me in a room of people I don't know. It's it's just not something I enjoy. And so as we were talking, this had came up, and I had said the fact that I absolutely hate networking. I absolutely hate meeting new people. And this guy looked at me and he's like, "Really?" He's like, "I wouldn't have guessed that." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." And he's like, "Well, you seem like you're pretty good at it." And that got me thinking about the assumptions that we make about people. That are simply untrue, that are simply made up in our own head. And we do this a lot. We do this a lot around bodies. We do this a lot about confidence. We tell ourselves that this other person is just naturally good at whatever they're doing, or that life is easier. But we never actually stop to think, how hard are they pushing themselves out of the comfort zone? Are they just naturally good at that? I'm willing to bet that more times than not, the answer is no. No, they are not just naturally good. I see this a ton when it comes to body image. We assume that because somebody is small, they are healthy, that because somebody is large, they are unhealthy. We assume that because somebody is small, they are happy, and because somebody is in a larger body, they are not happy. We assume that this person is quote unquote overweight, so they can't possibly have a disordered eating. None of those things are true. They're all things that we've told ourselves in our head. And it's really important to understand this concept because this is the root of where we start comparing. We start comparing once we start telling ourselves a story. And that story is not necessarily true. And yet, we are now going to allow it to not only form a judgment of someone, but we are going to allow it to dictate how we feel the rest of the day. Isn't that a load of BS? So what I really want for you to do today, but if you don't start calling yourself out on it, you will never be able to stop and change the behavior. I just want you to be extra aware, and I want you to really pay attention to that today. Because as he sat there and said to me, "Oh, this looks so easy for you. You look like a natural," inside, I would rather curl up and like just go crawl my way back to my car, get in my car and leave. There's nothing about me that likes doing this. It's a necessary part of business. And I will not have a successful business if I cannot do this. I don't like big groups, but big groups are always going to be a part of life unless I am going to become a recluse. And I would love to become a recluse, but then how am I going to pay my bills? So you see my problem, and I have 2 kids. I do not want to be a recluse with my 2 children. That's okay. So just remember that what you see is what people allow you to see. It doesn't mean it's what's actually going on. And on that note, guys, today's episode is really short and sweet and to the point. I never do anything in less than 10 minutes, and we're like under 8 minutes. So I just want you to go out and do something good today.